pandemic might be destroying a lot of businesses, but other ones are coming up and being forced to grow even faster than before. And one of those is online food ordering, which I even then again had done today. Didn't have to go anywhere. Don't know why I haven't been doing this for the last couple of years, but it's exploding just as other parts of the economy are exploding, as things that we were already doing online are being forced more so because of the pandemic. Biggest one so far, Instacart. And they are eyeing their eyes for an IPO in early 2021. At least early reports have a $30 billion valuation. So investment bank Goldman Sachs has been picked. So, this is happening to lead its IPO, which would come early next year, and value the U.S. grocery delivery app, an app at around $30 billion. Instacart was valued at $17 billion last month when it raised $200 million in private fundraising. Were the IPO to push Instacart's valuation to close to $30 billion, it would underscore the rapid growth of its business as more consumers turn to it to shop during these forced government lockdowns. This here makes a good point. San Francisco-based company is accelerating its IPO plans. 2 reasons. Number one, lockdowns and insanity in big government making up a pandemic aren't going away. They're pushing for a great reset. That's the real reason why they're doing the lockdowns. Obviously, it has nothing to do with scientific data around mortality and morbidity. After voters in California backed a ballot proposal last week that upheld the status of app-based delivery drivers as independent contractors. For those you don't know, Insanity, California was getting rid of the independent contractor for most cases, certainly as respects to bigger companies like Uber and Lyft, to force them to turn those people driving for their business into employees. And both those 2 competitors teamed up together to help fund this proposal, this ballot proposal, and actually did get it passed. Otherwise, they were going to leave the state, and just like everybody else who makes any money or produces anything is having to leave. And they were going to do the same thing. But that has spurred on the IPO, considering how do you think your groceries are going to get to your house, right? They're going to be driven by the same independent contractors. I don't know if they're going to be Lyft or with Uber, or they have their own. It might be a combination, depending on how they set it up in the different states. The writing's already on the wall for them. They are just going gangbusters here, expanding its delivery business to non-grocery goods. There's a couple of things that are good that are coming out of the pandemic. Most of them are really horrific, but sometimes there's some opportunities there. And sometimes one of the main things is you just have to realize that you're on your own and that your government is doing anything it can to beat you down, take your money and your freedoms away, which is what the Great Reset's all about. Right there, boom. Orders have surged 500% this year as consumers shopped online during the CV lockdowns. It's not an outbreak, but this is a finance show. We're not going to get into too much of that. Don't want to get censored by the fascists. Original VC investors, Sequoia, Andreessen Horowitz, D1 Capital Partners, all the big players. This thing's going to go boom, 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 boom in a few months. Not to be outdone, but you've got DoorDash. I like Instacart better a little bit, but Airbnb and Wish isn't that interesting? Finding the right time to go and jump in right now in the pandemic. That's because they're booming. Well, some of them were booming. Obviously, Airbnb is actually being crushed a bit, but here's just more adding on to that for DoorDash and Instacart because of the ballot victory in California, but it's combined with unending lockdowns, let's be honest. going into a dark winter with this prop being passed. Very important considering all the hell that comes out of California and goes to the rest of the country. Obviously, a lot of states wouldn't even bother doing something as insane as that. But bringing them both together, both meaning the proposition getting passed and further lockdowns for no reason other than the reset. Both delivery companies are considered among the top IPO candidates for early 2021. In October, Instacart raised the $200 million already mentioned. DoorDash raised $400 million with a $16 billion valuation. These are here to stay until the next attempt or attack on them, which could come from a new labor secretary with his hammer and sickle.